Ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube lanes, it's your boy Tuglow, and it has been quite some time since I've made a girls frontline video, but there's finally some good content out there for me that I feel the need or the want or the desire to talk about in girls frontline. So let's go ahead and get started. As everybody should know by now, there was a new client update that was done this most recent Tuesday, which I think was like the 22nd maybe. Yeah, the 22nd. So let's go ahead and take a look at what all has happened. The first thing that I personally noticed was that little ding. That's something that they have, what I feel, have either done differently or added to or just revitalized per se, is some of the animation sounds. So that's something that's a little different. The biggest thing that I want to talk about, I just want to jump straight into it, is going to be the expedition room. Now you can access it one of two ways. You can go here, click this little button, or you can go to the dormitory. Now, hopefully, let's see if it pops up for me. It didn't pop up for me. So in between when you click dormitory, here we go, here it is. This is something that I have seen, I think, from Lost Origin, when my boy Baguette, shout out to him, was playing it on the KR server. I feel like it was either Lost Origin or it was Arc Knights when I was watching some KR streamers that I saw this type of, let's say, template used. And to me, for what it does, like, okay, we don't have the intelligence center just yet. Of course, dude, my mouse is like so buggy, but anyway, to me, I feel like it makes it look pretty, but it's not something, in my opinion, that was extremely a necessity. Like, it just looks pretty, but at least as of right now, that's all it does. Let's go ahead and go to the forward base camp, aka the expedition. So as you can see here, you got in the background right here, you can click on it, and if you're just extremely bored, hey, we could just sit here and just watch it, man. You know, if you got time to just throw, and if you ain't doing nothing, and you know, you just want to do it up, by all means, you can see your dolls running, and sometimes it'll pop up some text. I think if you click this right here, that top right hand corner, you can click the text and you say, okay, Grizzly finds a mysterious cave, they rush in, blah blah blah, and it updates it, you know, gives you a little some to read. But then, you know, you can click these, and I'll be honest with you, these are the first time that I'm clicking them, so it's I mean, I personally haven't sat here and just, you know, watch this. I've got stuff to do. But I mean, apparently it looks like they found something, and I guess they're gonna go do something with it or something. I guess Grizzly's watching guard. But anyway, that's that portion of it. Now let's get into the stuff that actually matters. Right now I'm level 7 working on 8, level 6 over here. You're going to upgrade the gate console first, then you're going to do your loot rack. You can't go loot rack first to max and then the console. The console, it works a few different ways. You can choose any dolls right here if you want, or you can do advantaged echelon in the top right hand corner. You click on that, and then you can see, boom, it's got these dolls. Hey, these are the ones that you want to use, and then if you the higher level, the better it is, obviously. So now, now we've got a few things that we can do with that. We can set up another one. We could give them items that help, you know, increase the speed of which it finishes or goes, or you can increase the chance that you'll get some XYZ or blah blah blah. And with every different meal is a little different something. Now pets are going to actually be important. They have a purpose other than just taking up space and sitting in your dorm. They are going to be advantageous depending on what it says for that advantageous echelon formation type thing. So you can see I'm using 2 advantageous ones right now. And then we have the T dolls, so you can't use a, so you can't just fill it 5 Grizzlies, call it a day. It's just like an echelon. Now you can set up the automatic exploration, and you see down here it says the team will automatically head out for the next exploration 3 hours after returning from their previous one. So I set this one up, and I did, that's an 8-hour exploration, okay? Then after that, so 8 hours it completes. 3 hours after that, so 11 hours from when I started it. If I click this, then it'll start it up again, and then you can go again, and of course it's going to take resources and blah blah blah. This portion down here, I believe you should be able to set, this is just where you put your food, you know, you can just do this and then boom, you click the food there. I'm not gonna do that because it's not that big a deal to me. Aside from this, you can unlock it to 5 spots and 3 pets. I don't have that completely done. You can also hit auto formation if you want. I prefer to just click my stuff myself. That's just how I am. Then we'll go over to the loot rack. You can see exploration completion reward times 8, mid exploration is times 12, so it's just you get more stuff. Now, what is all this stuff going to be for? Why is it useful? Why is it even necessary? It's for the black market shop. The black market shop, you see, the more time that you do for these fancy looking logistics is going to be spent getting you gifts, whether it's from the city, the snowfield, the forest, or the wasteland. Now you can see we got some dormitory furniture here. We have some equipment that we can actually grab here, and you can see who it's useful for. So you know, PPK, VM59, KS23. It's just kind of to help the crappy dolls be less crappy. It's not gonna make them overly, you know, abundantly OP. It's just gonna make them a little less crappy, to my knowledge. Then we've got the effects. Now, personally, when I play, I'm not sitting here like, oh, look at my little M4. She has a heart next to her. I don't do none of that. When I'm playing this game, I'm either looking at a different screen or I am trying to hardcore focus on kiting, and there's no in between. And so if you just want to make your characters look pretty just to have it, by all means, it's here for you. Do you, boo. But just remember, this does not go away at any time. The equipment do not go away at any time. Furniture does not go away at any time. The main thing that you want to be looking at is the items. These have timers on them. Make sure you get them whenever you possibly can, because it's going to reset at the first of every month. In my opinion, the way that I would go about it, universal parts are the #1 most important thing, because instead of having to think of it this way: capsules for characters, universal parts to upgrade your equipment, and it's boom, it's easy. You get it done, you knock it out the park, resets every month. So in a sense, it's just another way to resource dump without playing the game, because I'm doing this passively, right? And so they just do it for me every X amount of time, and I don't have to worry about anything. Now, I would go parts. After that, it's really up to you. What do you need? I would take combat reports over the batteries, because you need batteries to make combat reports. But if you are relatively new or you're mid-game and you still haven't leveled everything to 10, get the batteries. Combat reports, IMO, are for later down the road when you turn around and you're like, hey, I got everything leveled, or I got everything that I need leveled. Let me just store up some combat reports. Everybody's always going to need cores, so cores are always good to grab. In my opinion, batteries and capsules on the bottom tier of the list, just because, I mean, capsules right now, I got like 2,500 of them. I'm not using them anytime soon. So then, by all means, grab whatever it is that you need and cater it to your own account. My stuff and how I view things for the necessity of this is not going to be the same for someone who's starting out brand spanking new. Now, this kind of covers everything with the forward base camp, or the quote-unquote the expedition. Like I said, I kind of view it as just a resource dump or another addition of logistics. It's nothing that you're gonna be like, oh man, I gotta play this and I gotta log in and I gotta do la. It ain't none of that. It's just like, oh hey, I got my stuff, cool, and then you can just go back to browsing Twitter or browsing YouTube or whatever you were doing before previously. Now, aside from that, as far as expedition is concerned, I personally don't really have anything else to say. I'll kind of talk about it a little bit more later, but everything that you need to know about expedition, I'd like to say I just kind of covered it or glazed over it as far as that's concerned. Let's go ahead and talk about the little midgets, because I know you, oh my mouse please, I know these midgets, everybody's gonna love them, the little avatar thingies, blah blah blah. The way that you're gonna access them, you're gonna go, you saw it top left corner, click on it, then this little thing should be here. Now Increases T-Doll affection gain, doesn't matter. Repair time, doesn't matter. Skill time, doesn't matter. Increase Commander EXP, doesn't matter. Literally the only two that matter are not even available in the game for us to use. So right now, it's not really like, oh, you gotta have it, or it's a must-have type thing. It's just whatever. So the first way that you're gonna go ahead and unlock this is you're gonna go here, you're gonna click this little button right here, and it should be on question mark. You're just gonna change the gender, and you can change it multiple times, it doesn't matter. And then you're gonna unlock a little achievement, okay? And I haven't even seen this. I don't know what any of it, what is this? Emote changed. It didn't change anything on the face. Okay, sure. Cool. Anyway, these two things are the ones that are the most important. This, I mean, if you just want to make your character look pretty, by all means, but it doesn't really give you anything to do as far as like something that's super important or that is a must-have. Like I said, the fairy EXP is extremely important. And what was it? The doll EXP? That in theory isn't important, but I mean, it could cut down on your 0-2 run, so you could think of that, you know, as relatively important. Then, once you change the gender, you can go to quest, and you'll have some new career quests. Now, I've saved these just particularly for the video, but you can go in through the career quests, collect your first exploration reward, you know, use the playback function in the electronic screen. You click that little thing, then go out for an exploration and do blah 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 blah. You go in here, you grab this, and then you should be good. We can turn around and we can see what I got. Full meal for 2. Baby, B-A-B-Y. Okay, so I guess it's just some food or whatever. So anyway, we got that. That's cool. One huge thing as well is if you have been playing, or if you're like mid-game and you haven't completed all of like the chapter story up to like 8 yet, you actually got like compensation. You should have gotten like a good amount of combat reports and a good amount of cores and maybe some potential resources as well. They would have helped you out. You know, it's not something that you turn around and you're like, oh my god, like I totally need this, but it's nice to have. I believe also, where was it? I think there was supposed to be a quest where it's like, hey, if you complete this quest like over again or redo the quest, it should give you some stuff. But I mean, honestly, if you just go through the story, you'll either already have been compensated, or you're going through the easier portion of the story that, you know, you should just level up relatively quick, call it a day. So apparently they changed that early game, so that way as you play, as you progress, you don't have to worry about going back and leveling characters at that same level and just running the same thing over and over and over. Supposedly, it is a little bit better. Another thing that they changed in the client update is the combat sim stuff. When you do a combat sim, I'm just gonna do one real quick. They also changed like the sound animations for the guns. I'm not a big fan of them, to be honest with you. There's none of them that I'm like, oh my god, that's so good. I never really played with sound before. I'm not gonna play with sound now. But dang, that was super unlucky. But you can hear it for, you know, maybe the first time or not. Like, it sounds like little rats like running on like at the top of like the like tin foil roof or something. Just like, bro, what kind of a machine gun is that? Give me the old sounds back, man. A lot of the new sounds in combat I'm not a fan of. But that's just me. So this is why I did this, because with the new update, you can turn around and they can say, hey, do you want to repeat it, or do you just want to cancel out? If you want to repeat it, then go for it. Just make sure that either A, you have the combat sims to do so, or B, you're gonna use extra energy sim, and if you want to use extra energy sim, then just keep on clicking OK. Otherwise, you just cancel out. That's something that's a little neat. Another thing, and this is probably what everybody's gonna bust a nut about, kind of save this for closer towards the end, is that when you run 0-2, it is so easy to turn... Okay. I don't really need any of that anyway. Anyway, it's so easy to turn around and swap your characters out. If you'll take a look right here, we'll look at SOP mod and we'll look at 9A91. Alright, so we're going to turn around on my rifles. Now watch. Oh, my freaking thing. Okay, we're going to put 9A91 here, and then we're going to have SOP mod in spot 2. Now I'm just going to click on SOP mod, and she's here. Now typically we would go back to 2, we'd click through it, go get 9A91, and then boom. However, now they literally just swap. So it makes 02 really nice. However, if you are trying to like swap people around, like, it can get messy because it does not remember the space that you were sitting your character in. And so that's something you have to, you know, potentially look out for, because you can get debated and it's super, super, super unfortunate. However, aside from that, this is kind of everything that I saw personally in the client update that was either new or that was intriguing to me, or something that I just wanted to talk about. Everything else, whether there is more, like, or excuse me, if there are more things there, then hey, by all means, cool. But this is just the stuff that's like important to me, or that I think is important. The last thing, because I just saw it on the little scroll thing, is you can actually buy these things with gems. Not, my mouse is messed up for me to even show it, but anyway, you can go through here and you can just click on this stuff and you can see it. And go, oh, and so you can just swap them out up here. You can do it by, you know, particular thing, or you can do it by everything. Now, now I'm gonna be real with you. I 100% do not believe it is necessary to buy this. If you want to look pretty, hey, do you. I don't think it's worth by any means. I think you can spend your gems in better ways than this, but it's your gems, you do you. And so if you want to look cutesy, or if you want to get the whole collection, or you want to do whatever, by all means, please do so. But I'm gonna save my gems for different stuff. Finally, I do want to close with my kind of like per se rating for the client update, or just like this game update rather. Personally, when I first was on stream, I gave it a 4 out of 10, and that was something that I was still kind of iffy about. However, not to name names or anything, Nico was like, yeah, this is a straight 2 out of 10, and I was like, 2 out of 10 just feels way too low. And I was like, but 4 feels too high. And I was like, I'll just meet in the middle and give it a 3. The update is great. It makes quality of life for 02 fantastic. It gives us another way to dump resources and gain some resources. It looks pretty for the one thing that they added into the dormitory spot. But is it anything that's going to turn around and kind of just swoop me back off my feet, or kind of revitalize my want and desire to play this game on a daily basis all the time? Not by any means. If I came back to the game, I would just come back and be doing 02 or 5-2 night, and that's not something I'm gonna sit through for another 13,000 runs, because I've got my units leveled. I'm waiting on Singularity, and until then, it's just gonna come in spurts of like, okay, hey, I'm doing my dailies and that's it. And I'm not even doing the dailies that I kill stuff. It's my production dailies, my combat sims, my logistics, and now my expedition stuff, and I call it a day. It's stale. I've heard people are like playing on other servers now instead of NA, and I've heard blah blah blee, blah blah blee. It's just one of those things that, to me personally, GFL's on the furthest back burner is possible without falling off. And this update, while it is nice, especially for newer players or for players who aren't as like highly leveled for their characters, or have all the characters they want leveled, then yeah, it's fantastic. But for someone like me who is just waiting and has been waiting since Valhalla for like the next thing to come out, it's nothing, honestly. And so if you're an older player who's just waiting for something to come back, you keep on waiting. I'll sound the alarm. I'll let y'all know. However, if you're newer or kind of a player, mid game level player, then yeah, this is really good for you, especially to get those, you know, logistics 2.0, aka the expedition. But like I said, it's good, but it's not catering to the needs that I have. And so that's kind of my talk about the new client update. I do want to say thank you to all the people who are on stream that kind of, you know, helped me kind of discover and was like, okay, yeah, this is here, okay, this is how I do this, oh, this is where I find this, and kind of blah blah blah, to, you know, help me kind of formulate my thoughts and then kind of think of everything, make it kind of, you know, kind of spiffy. And so, you know, I do want to say thank y'all to y'all. Thank y'all to them. English is difficult, but like I said, that's going to be it for this video. I do appreciate y'all watching. If y'all are watching the video for GFL, I appreciate the support. If y'all are looking for some Final Fantasy 14, twitch.tv/Tuglow. You know, we got that schedule for some Final Fantasy 14, and then also potentially be on the lookout for more 14 content on the channel as well. Guys, thank y'all so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.